especially when you go to LA, you hear so many people. Yeah, I've been in so many meetings where they'll be like, yeah, this person was out in LA, but he went home to look after his kids, and you know what I mean? And it's like, it's the honorable thing to do. But sometimes it's like this game is like, it's ruthless. You know, the time you put in is the time you get back. Do you know what I mean? And if your excuse is, oh, I've got children, or I've got to, pick up this person from school or whatever, it's the game's like fine, but we don't care about that. This is what I'm trying to say. And I had to make a decision, from 5 years old that, okay, I spoke to his mum, and I said, this is something this is my air. This is how I breathe. This is what I'm trying to say. This is how I provide. And I need to take a risk and do something that's going to propel me to the next level. Now, you do that with no guarantees. You do that with no form of, knowledge and just pure faith, right? And people talk about having faith or not, but sometimes you really got to test it. You can't just say, I've got faith. You've got to show that you've got faith as well. So for me, 2 years of not kind of being in his life consistently was tough for me. And I'm out there on my own, humbling myself because, I'm at the biggest level, but I'm Southampton. Do you know what I mean? I'm Southampton in the Premier League. Football reference. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm somebody back home, but here, you ain't no one until you prove yourself. Do you know what I mean? But when you do that, it's a bigger cash cow. It's a bigger thing. I saw a quote from Denzel Washington saying, sometimes your own family will judge you in the process of you breaking generational curses.
Oh, nice. Oh,
do you understand what I'm trying to say? Someone's got to go through the fire. Someone's got to go through it to make sure that everyone's cool, for real, and not keep, check to check. So for me, being out in LA was a sacrifice of time with my son, but now I'm back. I'm in a better position for it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'd say is my latest sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's well done, but who's the judge? You know what I mean? Kojo ain't the judge. It's his son. Do you get what I mean? Because Kojo made a sacrifice on his son's behalf. Do you get it?
Yeah.
He's made the choice, but the person it's affecting is his son. Do you get what I mean? And this, when I think about sacrifice and we talk about the things that we've sacrificed, we also have to think of the impact it's had on the people around us. And what role we can play to ensure that the level of that impact is minimized. Do you get what I mean? I think that's vitally important that we know what that sacrifice is actually gonna cost. However, gents, and Buddy did touch on it, so I'm gonna follow up on it. I want to talk about the whole entrepreneur versus employment. Because everyone sitting around, do you know what I mean, on this podcast can earn money through a company or are earning money for a company and can work for themselves. Pros and cons, sacrifices for the win. Yeah, so let's keep the tone the same. So the question I'm going to pose, how many of you here will be willing to walk away from your current job to pursue a new career?
Does this include me?
It includes everyone.
Not at this age, no way.
So you wouldn't give up?
I don't believe in not being an engineer. Can't be the new person in the office at 45. Bro.
That's your dad talking. Your parents talking.
No. What do I look like being in sales at 45? Yeah, this is the new person on the 5th floor. That's 45.
Kojo thinks you made it straight to the 5th floor. That's presumptuous, bro.
I'm saying you at a certain age for me, you're supposed to be in your stride of your career, especially men. The world trusts us as we get older. Yeah? You start having kids, you start having family. Things change, whether you not realize that or not. Yeah,
how long have you been away?
Huh?
How long have you been away? 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, Hackney don't trust us.
No, it does. The world, don't forget Hackney, the world trusts you, right? You know who the world don't trust? Single men that have no responsibilities. Where's the evidence that I can trust you? What have you got to manage in your life?
Why are you putting that kind of fear in bare people at night?
No, but it's the reality. So if it's fair, let it be that. But the reality is, when you've got responsibilities, the world trusts you. When you've got a wife to look after and you've got 2 children to look after, it opens itself up. I'm telling you, yeah, just think about it.
You know what your statement is saying basically is more a case of we got more to lose type of thing. So whereas I will take a risk being a single man, lives on my own, no other responsibilities, I can do whatever I want. Do you know what I mean? If I've got a family and a kid to feed and all the rest of it, it's like, whoa. I'm gonna take time with this choice, because when Citrus now turned and said, oh yeah, would you leave your job? I'm gonna think twice, because if I leave my job and it don't work, I still got my children to feed. I've still got my my wife to deal with and the rest of it. So I get it, but on the other side of things, I feel more it's a case of the way that people think, innit? And I was actually waiting for everybody else to answer the question before I put my point in there, because I know, and I shouldn't say I know, but I feel Citrus's view on this would be the same as mine. Where he said, would I even leave my current company that I built by myself? All right, would I leave that to pursue another career? Yeah, I would. And I feel he would be the same. Like, the way my brain thinks is like, if I feel that this next thing can make more money than what I'm making now, then I'm gonna take that chance. If you said to me, oh, you can be a comedian and you can make X amount of money, and I thought I was good, then I'm like, would I take the chance and come out to LA with you? I'll try it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, obviously, I don't believe I could, so I don't know.
But you're using an analogy, right? And I fully agree with that. I think that's me. Yeah. Because I'm very sure of myself in this, right? It still doesn't guarantee me anything, but I'm confident in that if I can try my best. I think I can live with it didn't work. I can't live with I should have. So I can't live. No one can't live with me. If I didn't try something, and I'd rather fail at it than just be killing it, doing nothing. I'm not happy.
So is it more about you would rather, because I hear what you're saying, if you got a steady job, go into another job or another field is a gamble in that sense. But if it's your passion, so let's say you're not Kojo the comedian, you're Kojo the salesman, yeah? But you've been doing this comedy, you've been doing comedy for years. Now you're like, you know what? It's now or never. Are you? Would you be saying then you wouldn't make the sacrifice to say, you know what, go all in at this age now, the age you're at now?
Comedy?
Yeah. Forget not having the experience you've had already.
Yeah.
Going into it at this sort of age now.
In terms of sales, I've been doing sales all my life, and now.
Yes. And
Yeah, do you know what it is? I for me, if I've seen it in my head, that's just how all of my things have been. If I see it here first, because God gives you a preview. We call them dreams, but it's a preview. Yeah, once you see yourself in something, that's the preview. It's how you get there now, because it's done. If God gives you that, because He don't give the same thing to everybody. I ain't seeing anything about being a pilot, but if He gives you that thing in your head, that's the preview to what's to come. It's your job now to figure out how to get there. And the reality is, we live in a world where shame and guilt and all the other stuff, things that we put on ourselves, but when it's coming from other people as well, it makes people afraid of doing that. I had to look at my son's mum and say, listen, I'm going to LA. I'm going to LA, but I believe I'm going to come back with something. I may not come back with something. She believed in me enough to be like, I got this, go. It takes a special kind of person to be able to be cool with that, because she didn't meet me at the post office. She met me doing this. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It takes a special kind of person to be okay with, I'm going to hold the reins
while you're doing this.
Because I believe in you. I know what you're doing. I believe in you. Yeah.